Are officially 1,900 Kosovo supporters, and they're in the corner away to our right. Predominantly royal blue is the main colour, but it was interesting during the anthem that an Albanian flag surfed over the heads of those Kosovan supporters, and in fact there are still a number of Albanian flags that are flying in that end here at St Mary's. It's an occasion that Kosovo will savour regardless of the result. They have never played such opposition before, and they come here to cause a shock. England, remember, haven't lost a qualifier for major finals in 10 years. We're underway. You're listening to BBC Radio 5 Live with England all in white in this first half under the orange hazy skies here on the south coast against Kosovo, who I suppose are in like a charcoal black shirts and shorts and blue socks. And the England side, Pickford is in goal. It's a back four of Alexander-Arnold, Keane, Maguire and Chilwell. So Gareth Southgate has changed the fullbacks. Oh, that was a poor ball by Keane. An opportunity here for Kosovo. What a dream start that is. Valon Berisha. Kosovo are in absolute dreamland. Michael Keane, so sloppy. And Kosovo are leading by a goal to nil inside the opening 60 seconds.
Well, I said Ian before the game, it'll be interesting to see what happens if Kosovo press them in the first 10-15 minutes. It's the first game England's actually played a team who are not fearful of them. They actually believe they can get a result. And then you've got to say, it's sloppy play. It's very slow. And King, he was under pressure. Maguire plays into ball. He could have turned. He didn't need to play across to Keane. He put him in trouble. It's a terrible pass across him. Give them credit, it's a great finish as well. What a start for Kosovo.
Gareth Southgate was telling the players this week that Kosovo will be on the front foot. They will be aggressive with their press. That was inexplicable from Michael Keane. Yes, he was under pressure, but he gave it straight to Valon Berisha, and the player who plays for Lazio, who, as John Murray said, only returned against the Czech Republic as a substitute, one of two changes that they have made. He actually played against England in Roy Hodgson's first game in charge for Norway in 2012. So this is a player who switched his allegiance when Kosovo were granted permission by FIFA and UEFA. But he played 20 times for Norway, so he's a very experienced player, and you could tell because he wasn't fazed when that opportunity was presented to him. And England are behind.
Well, in a minute, Ian, they're playing at the back, England. Kosovo will be quite happy with the way they're playing England. Oh, slow they're playing. So slow, they're playing pretty high. You know what, just for a couple of balls when it goes to fullback, just drop one down the side, get them turned, get them asking a question behind. They're just playing in front of them so far, and it's very, very easy to deal with. Look, they're just pressing onto the ball, everything's to feet. You've got pace up front, you've got pace on the wings. Just put a couple of balls in behind, just early on, just to stretch them, make them think twice.
You have heard the rant from the Swiss coach Bernard Chalond, who said to his players, go, 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 go. Well, they've gone all right. They've gone very, very early. And all of a sudden, England, who will probably still breeze qualification from Group A, are behind. And we said that they came here to cause a shock, and they certainly did that with such an early goal. So this will be a test for England, but certainly Kosovo now. We were expecting them to run hard. We were expecting them to have plenty of energy, but now they've got something to protect.
That was the ball there. I think Alexander-Arnold just clips one down the side. Look, they've got to throw in. Now they're in the final third, England. Play a bit high. Everything's going backwards and square.
I don't think I'd still given out the rest of the England side, had I? Henderson, Rice and Barkley in the midfield. Sterling, Kane and Sancho the front three. So three changes that have been made. And for Kosovo, they have Muric in goal. He's on loan from Manchester City to Nottingham Forest. Hadajonai is the right back from Huddersfield as Raheem Sterling bursts forward on the left-hand side, cuts in field. Chilwell helps win the ball back for England. In all white, playing from left to right. Romani and Aliti are the two central defenders. Vojvoda is the left back. The two holding midfielders will be Vorza and Halimi. And then you'll have Musalia and Berisha, who scored the goal, Valon Berisha, and Selina of Swansea City in behind the big striker Murici. So that is the Kosovo lineup. England are behind by 1-0. 34 seconds was the official timing of that goal for Kosovo. Barkley's little flick. It's a hurried clearance away by Kosovo, and now it's played up and across to Mulisa. Another one of the players who's come back in. He's formerly a German youth international, German born, but again switching his allegiance, such as the pride, to represent Kosovo. Jordan Henderson, Alexander-Arnold forward on this near side, the right. He waits, goes back to Michael Keane. Keane will play it forward. Keane's mistake punished by Kosovo, who lead by 1-0, in case you've just joined us. 5 minutes played. The 91st different opposition for England in this, their 997th match, as they approach that milestone of 1,000 games. And Alexander-Arnold to Harry Kane. Drilled it in quite hard to his feet. Henderson then will play the ball into the centre circle for Harry Maguire. Every outfield player is in the Kosovo half now. As Shalon, their silver-haired coach, watches on in his technical area. Henderson looks up. Again, it goes out to Alexander-Arnold. And then they go back. And England at the minute are not entering that final third of the field.
Ian, they've been in great position, especially down this right-hand side. Alexander-Arnold is one of the best crossers of the ball in the Premier League, I think. And he's been in 3 great positions, 30 yards from the touchline. He could put it in the space with that quality he's got. He's checked out, he's gone back to centre half 3 times. Sometimes you've got to ask questions and put the ball in there. Listen, we all love to see pretty football and lovely football, we all do that. But sometimes when you get in a position, put it in there. And if nobody's on the end of it, that's not your problem. Have a word with the strikers.
That's the voice of Chris Waddle, the familiar voice of Chris Waddle on BBC Radio 5 Live. Henderson lets it come across his body. Early ball now to Sancho. Sancho's first time cross. Blocked on this near side by Harajonai, the Huddersfield defender, behind for a corner. Exactly what you were saying.
Well, good movement. Jordan Henderson gets away. Sancho, first time, doesn't think anything about it. Tries to put it in behind the back lane. And it's a corner. You've got to ask questions.
So in front of the Kosovan support, Ross Barkley will come across to this near side to take the corner kick. England are playing from left to right. This will be an out-swinging corner from the right-hand side. Keane's there, Sterling, Kane, Maguire, Declan Rice also. Barkley with a delivery, floated, Michael Keane with a header, headed in, Raheem Sterling, and Keane was involved. Little bit of redemption there for the Everton defender, but Raheem Sterling was the one to pounce with a close range header, and England are level in the 8th minute at 1-1.
Well, it's a set piece. We always know England, with the size they've got, have a chance. And Raheem Sterling, who just knows how to get in that 6-yard box, he knows where goals. If you get in that 6-yard box, you're going to score goals. Look, Keane, great header, and he's just there, 3 yards out, free header, gets up, jumps nice and early, directs it on the target. Goalkeeper absolutely no chance.
It was interesting that a number of players actually went to Michael Keane rather than the goal scorer Raheem Sterling in order to try and help him, make him feel better after it was Keane's mistake. But Harajonai is forward. Certainly an open game, Chris, isn't it?
Well, this is what we want, and it's nice for England to actually get a test rather than somebody parking that double-decker bus and saying come and break, we're down. So full credit to them.
Cristiano Ronaldo has scored in Lithuania in Group B. Lithuania 0, Portugal 1. Said, by the way, it's the 91st different opposition for England. It's the 4th beginning with K. Korean Republic, i.e. South Korea, Kazakhstan, formerly the Soviet State, and Kuwait, of course, back in the World Cup in 1982. As England are attacking 1-1. Sterling the goal scorer. Raheem Sterling in rich vein of form as well, involved now in 10 goals in his last 8 internationals. Raheem Sterling. Trent Alexander-Arnold goes back to Maguire. Maguire on the edge of the centre circle in the England half as they play from left to right. Last time that England lost a home competitive match outside of Wembley, you have to go back to 1936, and that was when, quite a topical point, bearing in mind that we are here in Southampton, was when Queen Mary left for her maiden voyage on the Atlantic crossing to New York back in 1936, all those years ago. Previously, when they'd lost to Molyneux against Wales.
And you were in nappies then, weren't you?
Here is Sterling. Sterling with a cross left-hand side. Hadajionai hooks it away from deep inside his own penalty area. Yep, that was 2. John had just started school. Here is Keane.
Senior.
Alexander-Arnold back with Henderson. Just deflated Kosovo a little bit, hasn't it?
I think, listen, had a dream start. But they are working very hard, don't get us wrong, but they just can't get close to England. And England, every time they get to that final third, I want to see them put the ball in the box a lot more. I don't think they're comfortable defenders, but at the minute they're enjoying it because England are just playing in front of them.
This ball played forward. Sterling takes a tumble. Felix Via, the referee, tells him to get up. I described the Kosovo jerseys like a charcoal grey, as England, with Maguire now stepping forward, slides it through to Harry Kane, and just coming across there was Fidan Aliti to clear the ball out of play for a throw. But it's actually a special edition shirt that has been created for this game here at St Mary's, and the unique jersey combines elements from Kosovo's blue home shirt, the yellow away shirt as a low ball is played in, and the black third shirt produced that striking design. So it's a little bit of blue and a little bit of everything mixed in there from Kosovo, who are now firmly on the back foot. They were on the front foot, they did take the lead as darkness descends here at St Mary's, but England are now looking to get on top. 1-1, BBC Radio 5 Live. Corner kick. England just equalised from a corner on the other side. It'll be Chilwell to take it. He floats it over left-footed, and the goalkeeper Muric with a confident take. Of course, Muric beaten by Raheem Sterling. He was saying at the weekend, after they'd beaten the Czech Republic by 2-1, telling a couple of the England newspaper journalists who'd ventured over to Pristina that he used to stay behind, and Raheem Sterling used to practice his finishing at Manchester City's training ground with him. So a particularly sweet moment for Raheem Sterling to beat him from close range. Of course, Jadon Sancho would have been at Manchester City during that time as well, before his move to Borussia Dortmund. Hadajionai lays it off behind him. The ball then is turned back by Berisha, the goal scorer for Kosovo, and then at the back it will be in the midfield with Halimi, and then they go back to Muric in a garish pink goalkeeping outfit. Little flick on there by Murici, and now carried forward, and that's the ball played out to that right hand side, and then it's played in from the right, and it goes out of play for a throw to Kosovo. Still 1-1.
They do carry a threat, and they're very. You've got to believe they've got a lot of confidence. They've not lost for a long time, so the belief's there. But they've not come up against a team like England.
October 2017 was the last time they were tasted defeat. They were unbeaten in 15. Gareth Southgate was saying yesterday the best undefeated run in international football in Europe, and Bernard Chalon yet to actually lose. He's only been in charge of the 14 games. He's won 9 and drawn 5, but this is like no other team that they face, and that's why it's so special for Kosovo. As Chilwell surges forward on the left-hand side, turned by Raheem Sterling, just couldn't take the ball with him, and then Aliti will go back to Muric, and we've been playing for nearly 14 minutes now here at St Mary's on BBC Radio 5 Live, and it's 1-1. Kosovo in possession. Hadajionai on this near side, and goes back, and then it's Halimi who drops in between the two central defenders. Dark-haired midfielder, carries the ball almost to the edge of the centre circle, and then plays it back. Fed back out to the left-hand side. Hadajionai gives it back towards Aliti. Aliti now will find Romani, his fellow central defensive partner, and then he turns, and because of the presence of Harry Kane, he has to go back.
I was expecting England to press him a little bit more. They've got the equaliser, and then England's dropped off the pace.
Goal scorer, Berisha, giving the ball away. Rice plays it early. Space now for Raheem Sterling. Sterling runs forward. He tried to pick out Harry Kane. The interception was a good one by Elite. Just stepped forward on the edge of the area and had to make that intervention. But all of a sudden there's a transition, and it's in favour of Kosovo. And they're now coming forward. And it's Selina of Swansea City. There's a little step over. Left corner of the penalty area. Threads the ball forward. Halimi turns. Hadajonis, first time cross into the penalty area. Chilwell hasn't dealt with it. He's given the ball back towards Vojvoda. Ball played into the penalty box. On the cover is Trent Alexander-Arnold. Good header away by the right back. Saw the danger, dealt with it. Sliding on his knees, the Liverpool player. But Kosovo, still level, remember, at 1-1, are threatening over on that far side. But it'll be an England throw.
On the carrier threat, I just think England started brightly. I know they gave a goal away minute, whatever it was, 2 minutes, and then England got themselves back into it. But since they've got themselves back into it, they've just dropped off the pace. Kosovo's getting a lot of confidence now, and you can see the way they're coming forward. Everybody wants the ball.
He wasn't entirely happy with the performance on Saturday, Gareth Southgate. Obviously the result, beating Bulgaria by 4-0 to take them to the top of Group A. But particularly in the first half, he wanted the ball moved quicker. And there are elements of tonight's first half performance in this opening quarter of an hour where you could say exactly the same. But Barkley now with a direct run, carries it forward. Sterling's ahead of him. Sterling inside the D. Sterling tries to get an angle to a sight of goal. Can't thread it through to Sancho. Alexander-Arnold will sweep over the cross, and it arcs its way out for a goal kick. 1-1, 5 live. Now, Chris Waddle.
That is a classic one about before the game. Ross Barkley picks it up, goes past his midfield man, drives at the box, gets 22, 23 yards out, shoot. You're on your right foot, you've got a good angle, you've got the talent, shoot. What does he do? Rules the ball up to Raheem Sterling.
Good atmosphere inside St Mary's, and certainly a watchable game so far. 1-1. Ball is flicked back by Selina. Muric strikes it direct over the head of the big burly striker Murici. Recently just moved to Fenerbahce and has done well since he arrived in Istanbul. 2 goals in his opening 3 games as Declan Rice retained his place in the England side. Back with Alexander-Arnold. And Michael Keane will go back to Jordan Pickford. World Cup was the last time that England had named a settled back line. Colombia, Sweden and Croatia. This is the 13th consecutive match where there have been changes to that defensive line. The 2 fullbacks brought in as Henderson's little back heel looking to try and set Sancho away. It ran away from Sancho. Ran away almost from the goalkeeper. Muric, as he controlled it, it was spinning towards the goal line before eventually cleared it away. Barkley, a little bit like was it Jofra Archer the other day in the cricket, where it was tantalising running towards his stumps before he managed to kick it away himself. And a bit of a scare there for the tall Ari Muric, who's lost his place in the Nottingham Forest starting lineup of late since his loan switch from Manchester City. Just a lapse of concentration, wasn't it? His right foot wasn't strong enough to control the ball first time. Henderson, early ball to Alexander-Arnold. The applause though from Gareth Southgate. I think he liked the fact that they tried to zip it around quite quickly.
Well, if you look at England at the minute, you'd say Sancho and Sterling have done very well so far. Their energy, they're getting good positions. They're quite positive when they pick the ball up. I think their midfield 3 hasn't done enough yet. I think Ross Barkley's probably the pick of the 3 at the minute, but they haven't done enough for me again. And Harry Kane's just getting no service.
Here is Maguire along the ground to Raheem Sterling. Sterling, sharp turn inside the centre circle. And Sterling now has carried the ball forward. He plays in Harry Kane. Harry Kane! Lovely goal by England. Harry Kane drills it emphatically low, left-footed into the bottom right-hand corner. But that was all about Raheem Sterling. He scored the first, and a significant contribution as England have come from behind and lead by 2-1.
Brilliant Raheem Sterling. He's looked like very lively again tonight, and great turn on the halfway lane. And you know he's got pace, and once he starts committing, defenders running out and they're backing off. Harry Kane just goes down that left hand side. It's a wonderful turn. You've got to get the defender diving in, should never dive in there. Harry Kane, don't get it wrong, gets it on his left foot. Wow, what a straight with his left foot. just pushes it onto his left, hard and low, through the keeper's legs. 2-1 England. I expect him to go on from this.
Well, in this part of the world, they're used to seeing big tankers, and the way that Romani was turned there, he was like a big tanker. He was so cumbersome, but it was so sharp and so agile from Raheem Sterling, because he absolutely left him for dead. By the time he'd stopped running forward, he was in the England half, Romani, and Raheem Sterling had carried the ball almost towards the D. And there was Harry Kane, the England captain, to play it in low, and England now lead by 2-1. And for Harry Kane, that actually takes him now, well, level with Brian Robson on 26 goals. There's almost a mix-up at the back. So he's level with Brian Robson on 26 goals for his country, and it is his 19th as England captain. He's only now one behind Alan Shearer, who scored 20 when he was England's skipper.
England just need to kick on now, up the tempo. Look, they're getting sloppy, they've gone 2-1 up. Look, no need for them to have 2-3 touches, slow down. Keep the tempo up and go and add to the total.
Thing is, there's more goals in this game. We've only been playing for 21 minutes. It's 2-1 to England. You don't, the way that the game's being played, it's not going to just finish like this, is it?
England's in the driving seat now, so look, for the next 10-15 minutes, up the tempo, keep it high, do what you've just been doing for the last 10 minutes. Get the ball to Sterling and Sancho. They're having a lot of joy tonight, especially Sterling.
26 goals now he's been involved in 31 competitive games. Harry Kane scored 21 of those. What is it now, 6 in his last 4 as well. Rich vein of form, Harry Kane, and England are back in the driving seat after conceding a goal to Kosovo after just 34 seconds here at St Mary's. 21 minutes played. Kosovo, ball chipped forward. Chilwell lets the ball bounce onto his chest. Ross Barkley comes under pressure, and the referee says that'll be a free kick in favour of England. There's no limit, is there, for Raheem Sterling, Chris?
Hey, listen, he's the man at the minute. I know Harry Kane, we need Harry Kane, don't get us wrong, but that's better by Sancho. That's much better.
Sancho plays the ball forward. Jordan Henderson's cross is blocked, loops up into the air. Romani on the edge of his area heads it away. Henderson will help win it back. Henderson looks up and then plays a reverse ball to Alexander-Arnold, who'd continued that run. Alexander-Arnold getting forward on this near side, the right. Trippier was unable to do so on Saturday at times against Bulgaria. Low ball cut out by Alexander-Arnold, won back by Henderson. Rice now to Barkley, turns. Barkley waits, plays the ball, right corner of the area. Sancho does the little step over, turns back onto his left foot, rolls it back. First time cross, curling just over the top by Ross Barkley. England now much more threatening. We're midway through the first half. They've come from behind to lead by 2-1. And after the words of Chris Waddle, the next voice you'll hear will be our correspondent John Murray.
Well, that's a lot better. Sancho's coming into the game. He's got a lot of confidence at the minute. He's picked it up and he's looked at Sterling and thinking, you know what, I can do the same. I can pick the ball up and I can run at defenders. And he's getting a lot of joy. The two Wade men are doing ever so well.
I could almost hear you purring there, Chris, at the way that Jadon Sancho played there. That's the sort of thing you like to see.
Well, that's what I want to see from him. That's why he's in the team.
Lovely footwork, lovely tricks, all sorts of things that one Waddle C might have performed 1 or 2 years ago. Here's Salina. He's not really got into the game yet for Kosovo, playing in quite a deep position. Cross from Vojvoda on the right-hand side, but that's too close to Pickford, and he's able to gather it into his midriff. It's been eventful, hasn't it?
I think it's a good game. Give Kosovo a lot of credit. They've come here, yes, they are to defend. We know that England had a lot of possession. But every time they get the ball, they're positive, they're committing bodies forward, they are looking to score goals.
Yeah, 2-1 to England. BBC Radio 5 live here in Southampton at St Mary's. Only the third time England have played here in Southampton. First one was at the Dell back in 1901, and then back in 2002, not long after this stadium, St Mary's had opened. If you remember that game, England fell behind twice to Macedonia in that match, and twice came back with goals from Beckham and Gerrard, and it finished 2-2. This could be anything. Sterling and Kane both scoring again for England, as they did at the weekend, after Berisha, Valon Berisha of Lazio, had opened the scoring. I reckon round about 34 seconds was the official time of that goal, after Michael Keane gave it away to Murisha. Awful pass, and Murisha set up Valon Berisha, who swept it away. Here England come with Alexander Arnold on the right hand side as they play from left to right on this dry, it's been a lovely autumnal day actually here in this part of the world, down in Hampshire. Alexander Arnold back to Maguire, whose pass set England off for the second goal. It was Maguire's ball into Sterling in the centre circle, and then Barkley is shoved over by the Kosovan captain Ramani, and it's a free kick just left of centre of the middle of the Kosovo half, so England have a chance again to work something from a set piece.
Well, they're normally good. They do work a lot on set pieces, and they do catch a lot of teams out. A lot of teams are not that worried about them, but the movement and the size, the height they've got, England, always a threat. I've been watching the Kosovo coach, and he's very, very frustrated, to say the least.
He has got the look of the friendly uncle about him, hasn't he? With silver hair. Here's Barkley, who plays in the free kick to the back post. He was looking for Maguire. That was the intention, but it was headed away. The striker Murishi was back in there. He was looking after Maguire, and he beat him in the air as well. He is a very big guy. The number 18 has just joined Fenerbahce this summer. Started well there, scored goals in his last 2 Kosovo games as well. Their win against Bulgaria at the end of last season, and then at the weekend against Czech Republic. Remember, Kosovo were involved in a tough game on Saturday when they had to come from a goal behind themselves to win against the Czech Republic and make it 15 matches unbeaten. They are ranked 120 in the world, but I have to say, I think that's, even on the basis of what we've seen here, it's quite a false ranking. Here's Sterling, turns away from Halimi, takes it onto the edge of the area, was looking to combine with Kane on the edge of the box, but Ramani was able to step in and clear it away.
You don't mind that, Raheem Sterling's on fire tonight, the way he keeps picking that ball up. The one thing he's got in his mind is committing defenders, and that's what I keep saying. It's the worst thing in the world for defenders when you get a guy coming at you who's got a trick and a bit of pace. It's frightening, and he's done it every time he's picked the ball up so far, and you don't mind if he loses it.
And with those goals, Sterling has now scored 8 goals in his last 8 England appearances, and he's reached double figures. That's number 10 for his country, and Harry Kane just behind him on 7 goals in his last 7 England appearances. Here, England in possession inside their own half. Keane to Maguire, but they are pressing Kosovo, putting the England central defenders under pressure, but Maguire turns and then swings a ball to Alexander on the halfway line, just a few yards away from where Gareth Southgate, in a suit tonight, is watching. Jordan Henderson on the right hand side, Sancho, the 19-year-old youngest man in the England squad, in for Rashford tonight. If you just switched on to 5 Live, Gareth Southgate making 3 changes from the weekend. Both fullbacks have been changed. So we have Alexander Arnold and Chilwell, who's in possession now on the far side, and as I say, Sancho coming in for Rashford, who's on the bench. Ball on the halfway line with Barkley, preferred again in midfield, same midfield 3, Rice, Barkley, Henderson, and Declan Rice is just making himself available, but it's passed forward by Maguire. Then here is Declan Rice of West Ham, and then Barkley of Chelsea goes back to the Everton central defender Michael Keane. And Ian was absolutely right, the players were all around Michael Keane when he set up the Sterling goal with his back post header from the corner, following the mistake that Keane made for the opening goal. And Keane just playing it back to his clubmate Pickford. Pickford chips it here to the right hand side. Alexander Arnold, I was going to say, will do well to keep it in, and he couldn't. He chested it in. It's a throw to Kosovo.
Yeah, nice spell of possession for England, but keep going forward. You know, it's all right having possession, John, but you've got to sometimes think, can we get another goal? Can we go and get that third one?
Lithuania have equalised against Portugal. It's 1-1 in one of the other qualifiers being played this evening, as the ball bounces off Valon Berisha, who is taking it down the left-hand side, and it's a goal kick to England. Montenegro and Czech Republic playing in the other match in this group tonight. That's still 0-0. Also 0-0, Republic of Ireland playing a friendly match against Bulgaria, who England dispatched at the weekend. That's still 0-0. And also Grimsby Town and Macclesfield playing in the Carabao Cup this evening. That delayed tie, and that is still 0-0. The winners will go to Chelsea in the next round. 2-1 to England here in Southampton. BBC Radio 5 Live. Ramani lifts the ball downfield. It bounces in front of Valon Berisha, who manages to get round Alexander-Arnold, and then big Murishi, with his hair tightly tied at the back of his head, allows the ball to run. Berisha again, and then it breaks down on the edge of the area, and England are off again. Nice passing. Alexander-Arnold, Sancho, Henderson, then playing it out to Chilwell. Chilwell's over the halfway line. Sterling turns. They're standing off him. Sterling plays it square. It's been driven on by Henderson. Now to Sterling with the run, but Rahmani just ran with Sterling and just nudged him as the ball arrived, and it ran through to the goalkeeper.
Good experience. Jordan Henderson and Ross Barkley really joining with the front three there, getting right up behind them, and it's nice to see. That's what we want from the two midfield lads of Rice and Sitton.
England 2, Kosovo 1. And it is again Valon Berisha who's running with the ball. Salina makes himself available here. Still Berisha with the ball at his feet, shoots goalwards, takes a double deflection, and Pickford has to scramble and drop to his left to prevent the ball from going behind for a corner. But the England goalkeeper has it safely. Pickford, who was beaten in that first minute for only the second time in this group, the second goal that England have conceded in this campaign. England top of the group with 9 points, 100% winning record from the 3 matches. Kosovo with 8 points, albeit from 4 matches. Sterling again running at the Kosovan defence. Sterling couldn't find the pass to Sancho. It was cut out by Harajonai of Huddersfield Town, the left back. And here is Harajonai again being forced square, and in fact by Sterling, forced, very nearly gave it away. Chilwell just lost out to Muslia, and now it is Vojvoda, the right back for Kosovo. A crossfield pass which could have gone anywhere is collected by Harajonai on this left hand side, and then Bersant Salina of Swansea City, the former Manchester City youngster, back to Halimi closer to the halfway line. Kosovo with possession inside the England half, everyone apart from Sterling behind the ball. And now they work it to the left-hand side, and Florent Harajonai to Salina. Salina goes back towards the halfway line. Brilliant support you can hear from those 900 official supporters of Kosovo who are inside the stadium. And now the England fans respond as well, as the ball is played to Harajonai on the left-hand side. Harajonai's right-footed cross is straight into the path of Michael Keane, who's able to volley it away towards the halfway line. But Halimi and the Kosovans now enjoying their most sustained period of possession of the match. Besar Halimi, the little number 8, who plays in the German second division for Sandhausen. Now the ball is out towards the right-hand side by Volza, one of the central midfielders, but Vojvoda can't keep possession, and England have it again over there. Chilwell back to Declan Rice. Sterling makes himself available. Sterling has pretty much played on the left-hand side and Sancho on the right-hand side, and Sterling now receives it again. Back it goes to Rice, Barkley, and then Declan Rice, winning tonight his 5th cap, having started both of these September internationals. Harry Winks on the bench again. Maguire back to Keane, and Keane now rolls the ball to Alexander-Arnold. Alexander-Arnold infield. Ross Barkley now with the yellow boots on. England all in white tonight, red numbers on their backs, and now England just keeping it on the halfway line.
It's like both teams now have sort of thought, let's bide with time, let's get that breather. It's just after half an hour gone, and they're both now very cautious. It's all about slowing the tempo, keeping the ball.
Here's Sancho though, England's number 11 tonight. Sancho thought about having a dart, but he knew Alexander-Arnold was available. Comes back again to Alexander-Arnold's club captain, Jordan Henderson. Now again Sancho and Alexander-Arnold. Kane makes himself available, curls in the ball towards the far post. Vojvoda heads it away. England will take up possession again though, with Sterling, who got there first. That was pure hunger. Sterling now bursting into the penalty area on the left hand side towards the byline. 2 defenders with him, and it's been blocked behind by Rahami for a corner to England, even though he protests.
Well, they just can't cope with Raheem Sterling tonight. Kosovo are trying to double up on him, but he's just got that change of pace where he just gets it out of his feet, and they just can't keep up with him.
So the corner from the left hand side. Chilwell to take it. Left-footed delivery towards the back post, looking for Keane with a header, got underneath it, but headed it high over the top of the crossbar for a goal kick to Kosovo, and England lead by 2-1, and we have just over 10 minutes to go to half-time. Been an entertaining game. It's been some decent football played by both teams.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think we knew they'd come and have a go. They're full of confidence, unbeaten for a long time. England, for me, have definitely just shaded it.
That's Chris Waddle, 62 caps for England, World Cup semi-finalist, once the third most expensive player on the planet. Here's Sancho, back to Alexander-Arnold. Alexander-Arnold now drives the ball. That's asking a lot of Sterling. Did well to get his head to it, actually. Bounces down. Vojvoda, not sure what to do with it. Couldn't get the ball under control, so he's lost possession. Now Rice, driving ball through the middle. Henderson took a lovely touch there, gave it to Sterling. Sterling now. This is a bit of slow. The quick won't be too far away from little Raheem Sterling. Chilwell, though, receives it from Raheem Sterling. And now Barkley allows the ball to run behind him and turns and uses Declan Rice. And Rice now to the right-hand side to Alexander-Arnold. Sancho is there, close quarters. And then another touch from Rice and Henderson. Most of the England players have had a touch in this move. Maguire, Rice again. Just allows it to run to Henderson, who gives it back square to Rice. And then it's square to Maguire. And then Maguire goes for the pass to the left-hand side to Sterling. Sterling with two defenders on it. Back to Chilwell. Chilwell's cross, he's overhit that. The Leicester City man in it is beyond the far post and drops just over the white line for a goal kick.
Well, we're seeing a lot of possession from both teams when they have the ball. Both teams getting behind the ball when whoever has the opposition have it. And I just think sometimes, England's 2-1 up. But keep putting the ball in the box, keep doing what you've been doing, go and get the third. It's a very open game.
Muric passing the ball out. That must have been 2 feet away from Harry Kane's outstretched leg when he passed it straight forward and out of the penalty area. But he managed to find a teammate. Back it goes to the absolutely towering goalkeeper Aro Muric of Manchester City, on loan at Nottingham Forest. And now Vojvoda down the right-hand side, the right back coming forward. He's got space as well, takes it on, he's going for goal, and it dips wide of the near post. Pickford dropping to his left, allowed it to hit the side netting on the outside of the goal.
I've got to say, I like their attitude. They're very positive, aren't they, when they get the ball? They all come forward in numbers. It's not like you see the odd player up front and damage limitation, don't commit bodies forward. Once they get possession, they're on their way, and it caused England a few problems.
Yeah, only really such a young footballing nation, the youngest footballing nation in Europe. Indeed, some countries don't recognise Kosovo as an independent country. As Keane plays it forward, and there's a man down, Kosovo player down. Kane playing on, Sancho now taking it on. Sancho into the area on the right-hand side. Sancho drives it across to the back post, and it's gone in for an own goal of Vojvoda. It hit him at pace on the shins, straight into his own goal. England open up a 3-1 lead, but Bernard Chalond, the Kosovan coach, is furious that he had a man down near the halfway line and play wasn't stopped. And Gareth Southgate has actually called across Alexander-Arnold there, who I think was involved in the incident with the Kosovan player who was injured, just to take him away from that. It's Aliti, the central defender, who is now climbing to his feet. It wasn't a thigh injury, it wasn't a head injury, it was a leg injury, so the referee didn't have to stop play, and the referee has come across to show a yellow card to Bernard Chalond, the Kosovan coach, who turns and actually puts his hands on the shoulders of the fourth official to protest about it. But Bernard Chalond is booked. But the goal stands, It's an own goal, and England now have a clear lead, 3-1 against Kosovo.
No, listen, England did right. There was nothing there. Look, the guy's up. Look, it wasn't a foul. There was no need to put the ball out. Listen, he stood up. There's nothing wrong with him. And listen, they all switched off. Most of them did. Give Sancho credit. Yet again, he's driving at the fullbacks. He's driving at the centre halves. He got to the byline. It's a great ball across, and I feel sorry for the defender because he couldn't do anything about it. And the coach can say it's unfair. It wasn't unfair.
In all honesty, it should happen more often.
I totally agree.
When players are down and it's not a head injury, you have to play to the whistle. And Kosovo, I think, were rather caught cold there by the way that England did play on with purpose, and they were totally caught out. So 3-1 England. Marisha taking the ball up towards the corner of the penalty area on the left-hand side. And it is cleared away by Keane. Now Sancho loses out to Halimi, and Kosovo will go back into their own half. So 3-1 now, the England lead, having scored 5 goals in their first 2 matches in the group against Czech Republic and Montenegro, 4 goals against Bulgaria. Now against the team currently second in the group, they've scored 3, and half-time is still over 5 minutes away. Selina, this team is capable of scoring another one though. Marisha hits a shot from 23 yards, it's blocked on the edge of the penalty area, and then England are able to clear, and then Ramani just up against Keane blasts it downfield and out for a throw.
They do ask questions, they're very positive in how they play, but England are still a far better team than me. They're 3-1 up, and they'll argue about this third goal, but to me there was nothing wrong with it. Sancho, great run, drives for the byline, and the defender, unfortunately, I don't know what the goalie's doing. The goalie could put a foot on it and play it away.
It's actually driven right at Muric's right leg, and he pulled his foot out of the way, which I think fooled Vojvoda, and it just hit him 3 or 4 yards out, straight in the back of the net. Here they come again though, ball to the back post. Alexander-Arnold gets his head to it and nods it away for England. So lovely from Sancho, absolutely beat Halimi, all ends up, dragged it back, left him on the ground, plays it to Alexander-Arnold. Alexander-Arnold's high ball right towards the far side of the penalty area, but it was a floaty one, and Muric was able to come and catch the Kosovo goalkeeper. And then Barclay slides in with a challenge on the halfway line, got a touch on the ball, no free kick, and so Kosovo still have possession. Into the last 5 minutes of the first half. BBC Radio 5 Live. We will be on air tonight, 5 Live Sport, till 10:30 before Sarah Brett, and in that time between the end of the match and 10:30 we'll try and bring you as many interviews as we can from down in the tunnel area. But if you have to go to bed or whatever you have to do at that time of night, you will be able to download the 5 Live Football Daily podcast for all of the analysis and interviews first thing in the morning. 3-1 England lead. England on course now to make it 4 wins out of 4 at the halfway stage of this group. Harajonai. Now Valon Berisha plays it infield to Bersant Selina. Selina turns away from Keane and gives it to Berisha again on his right foot. Berisha just returned from 7 months out with an injury, and now Selina's ball diagonally out towards the far side. He just overhit it and it skidded away from Muslia and behind for a goal kick to England.
They've got 3 or 4 players technically very, very gifted, I've got to say, which I expected. They are very technical, 3 or 4 of them, you can see that, but obviously they're lacking in departments. We can see that defensively they're not the best. The 2 full-backs are good going forward and comfortable in possession, but defensively the back 4 is not strong enough to compete against England.
So 3-1 it is after Kosovo took the lead, around about 34 seconds on the clock when they scored the opening goal. That was quite a stunner. What a moment for Kosovan football that was, and it was celebrated as well by the 1900 who are here, wherever they've come from, probably all parts of Europe, certainly all over the UK. We were talking to some Kosovan fans this morning from Scotland, actually from Glasgow, and they had the thickest Glasgow accents, but were proud Kosovans. Here is Halimi back into the centre circle to Votsa. Now to the right hand side to the unfortunate scorer of the own goal, Vojvoda. Votsa again, Selina, who has played very deep really for much of the first half. Selina, the number 9, turns, still just forward of the centre circle. Challenge comes in on him, good one from Rice. Then it's played forward by Henderson. Sterling with space in front of him. Sterling now accelerating towards the edge of the box. Plays it across to Sancho. Sancho's in and scores! It's 4-1 and Jadon Sancho. What a moment for the 19-year-old. The young Borussia Dortmund player scores his first goal for England here in Southampton, and they're taking the game away from Kosovo before even half-time in this match. 4-1.
Well, yeah, again they lose the ball. Selina loses it in midfield. Good hounding by Rice, I think it was, and then they break and they're away again. And once the ball comes to Sancho, Sterling again, brilliant run, calm finish, 2 touches, third touch So I think another one goes. Does it go through the goalkeeper's legs again? Not another one through the legs, is it? No, not this time. It dives over the top of it, but well, it's game over. But it's an interesting game.
Well, we've been waiting for that. Well, he's been waiting for it. Jadon Sancho. This is his 8th appearance. Started 4 of them. Come on as a substitute in 4. And you've been saying, we were talking about it off air, weren't we, Chris, on Saturday after the match, about what he has to do. And you spoke about it with Kelly before the game here tonight, really. And it's just settling into the team, isn't it? Just becoming more comfortable in an England shirt.
Getting that confidence. He's got to look at Raheem Sterling, how he got a lot of criticism. And now all of a sudden he's put it all together. And big part of the England team. And Sancho can do exactly the same. I
was talking to Rafa Honigstein, who... regular appearance on 5 Live, who knows such a great deal about German football. 3 minutes at a time being played, and he was telling me he's seen all of Borussia Dortmund games this season, and he was saying that he's just been sensational, Sancho, this season for his club side. 3 goals in 5 appearances, assists in virtually every game.
He's got the confidence on the Dortmund shirt, and this is what I'm saying. People, sometimes we get on the top of these players and say they're not doing it, they don't do this, they don't. It's not easy just to come away from your club where it's very comfortable. You know everybody, you're a big player there. All of a sudden you come into an England camp and they're all big players.
I had a chat with him at the start of last week, and he was telling me about how good his German is now. He's been learning German. And here's Sterling away on the left-hand side. Sterling plays the ball round the defender. He's into the box. England looking for 5. It's played across, and it's turned in the middle. It is now 5-1 before half-time. Sterling again there. It was all about his pace and power. And Sancho in the middle, in the 6-yard box. He nearly missed it. He just managed to tuck it inside the foot of the post, with the goal absolutely gaping. But Sancho's now scored 2 goals in 2 minutes, and England 5-1 up on poor old Kosovo.
Well, right back, I don't know what he's doing, diving in on Raheem Sterling. They're not learning the lesson. He's got pace, keep him in front of you. He's dived in. Raheem Sterling actually miskicks across, and he actually takes a bit of the turf with him. He doesn't have the contact. Look, he doesn't have the contact he wanted, and he was just stayed on side and showing it's an easy tap in. He probably thought he was offside when the ball come to him, but he's put it in the net. Now go and get a hat-trick.
Sancho, who I think it might have just glanced the post, as I say, he had the whole goal in front of him, and I'm not sure that was the purest contact from Sancho. Doesn't matter.
No, not Sancho and Raheem Sterling, as I say. So hey, it's in the back of the net, who cares?
Yep. And England now 5-1 up. 6 goals in the first half. And that means England have scored 5 goals in 3 of the 4 qualifiers so far, and 4 in the other.
Well, it's suited England, let's be honest. Because we'll give them credit. They've come out and they've thought, we're going to hit you as much as we can. When we get the ball, we're going forward in numbers. And they have. They had a dream start. But unfortunately, this back 4 cannot control the front 3 of England. Midfield, I don't think there's nothing between them. I've got to say, their midfield's been as good as England's. But that front 3 tonight, and Harry Kane, we know hasn't had as much ball as the other 2. There's 2 wingers have just absolutely destroyed them.
I'm just wondering, Bernard Chalon seems to have disappeared from the edge of the coaching area. England coming forward again and out of time at the end of the first half. Sterling's in again, shoots straight at Muric, who's able to drop forward, and this time he's able to save it from his Manchester City teammate, the Kosovan goalkeeper, and there's the half-time whistle.
I feel for the right back. He gets one-on-one with Sterling. He doesn't know whether to get tight, whether to drop off. But England, one down, show terrific character, credit, give them credit. But the 2 wide men, Sancho and Raheem Sterling, have been outstanding, I think, in that department. And Harry Kane always looks a threat, but the midfield, there's not a lot between the 2 group teams in midfield, but England now, convincing win. And how many can they get?
I'm just wondering whether that Bernard Chalon, whether he's actually been sent off, the Kosovo coach, because he did disappear down the tunnel before the half-time whistle went, or whether he's just gone down there to head to the dressing room. But there are a number of discussions going down there with the 4th official, and I see the Kosovo media officer is actually there talking to the 4th official as well.
He's probably got on the bus.
Well, We'll find out whether he appears for the second half. But 5-1. It's actually quite reminiscent of the game in March when we were in Montenegro. If you remember, Michael Keane was at fault for the early goal there. Montenegro took the lead and England ended up winning the match. However, here in Southampton, it's only half time and England are winning 5-1. And here's Kelly Cates, who's here with us at the back of the stand.
That's a very big build-up. 5-1 at half-time. Fantastic performance from England. Great result for them so far at half-time. And in terms of the performance, Chris, and as John pointed out, yes, they went behind in the first minute, but they've really warmed up, not just because of the goals, but because their overall performance has improved.
Well, Kosovo, let's give them credit, right? They want to play on the front foot. They want to go and play and match teams up and say, we're as good as you. Unfortunately, they haven't got a Raheem Sterling or a Jadon Sancho. They just haven't got their tactics right out to stop them. They don't know where they get tight. For me, you've got to double up on them too. You've got to get the right side and left sided player to basically become double fullbacks to stop them getting the ball. They haven't done that. They've let them have the ball, especially Raheem Sterling. And Raheem Sterling just picks it up. They don't know whether to dive in, tackle him. They don't know how to foul him. They don't know what to do with him. Every time he's got it up, he's driven that defence back into the 18-yard box. And yes, they've got 5, and there could be a lot more.
2 for Jadon Sancho, as you say. Big night for him, getting a couple of England goals already, possibly more to come in the second half. But for Raheem Sterling, and particularly the part he played in the third goal of the evening, England's second, Harry Kane's goal, when he won it in the centre circle.
Oh, great turn, yeah, the defender. He lost the defender and away he goes. We know how quick he is, but he's added this bit to his game. He seems, he's playing with wonderful players at Manchester City and he's learning. Great coach, and you can see, yes, there's odd times he does bad decisions or delays his pass, but his awareness now, and he knows when to shoot and when to roll people in. His pace gets away from defenders, and what he does when he picks the ball up, he's positive. He doesn't think, I'm going to run at the fullback, stop, which we were talking about before the game. I'm going to run at the fullback, stop, go back to the fullback. He drives at you and he comes inside, and if you back off him, he'll keep running at you. And he's been, well, over the course of probably the last year or so, he's been a thorn in any team's side.
Ben says on social media, Raheem Sterling is England's best player at the moment. Harry Kane looking as sharp as ever in front of goal. If they keep this partnership going the right way through to Euro 2020, it could be another special summer. Dom says Guardiola has nurtured Raheem Sterling into the player all England fans hoped he'd be. What a player. Stu says, when you think back to all the flack Sterling used to get from England fans, best player we've got now. But probably only even looking back to the World Cup in Russia, there's still some England fans who were criticising Raheem Sterling. They certainly won't be criticising him after this evening's performance. England 5-1 up at the break here at St Mary's. What do England want to get out the second half, Chris? Given that they've pretty much got the game sewn up, what does Gareth Southgate do?
I'd like to see him stick 2 midfield players on. I think Jordan Henderson and Ross Barkley, don't get us wrong, they put a shift in, but I think there's a lot more they can do. I can't remember Ross Barkley having a shot. I can't remember Jordan Henderson having a shot. I can't remember either of them making a goal or making a chance. So would it be a nice time now to put Mountain Maddison on as there too and say leave Rice on and let's see what happens, because there's no way, listen, they're going to come back from this and get a draw or a win out of it. So this is the time now to say, listen, Jordan, thank you, you've done, we know what you can do, and Ross, thank you very much, let's bring them on and let's see what we can do.
Let's see if there are any changes. We'll be back with our commentary team for the second half of this game. But England 5-1 up against Kosovo at half-time here at St Mary's. It means that England look as though they're about to move 4 points clear of Kosovo in second place in their group. Montenegro and the Czech Republic also playing in their group A Euro 2020 qualifiers. It's goalless at half-time in that one. There's a delayed EFL Cup match between Grimsby and Macclesfield, the winner of which will go to Chelsea in the next round. That too goalless at half-time. And the Republic of Ireland are playing in an international friendly at the moment. They're at home to Bulgaria, and that also is goalless. All the goals for them this evening happening here at St Mary's. 5-1 to England at half-time. We'll be back with the rest of the day's sports news after the BBC News with Nick Hadfield.
On digital, BBC Sounds, smart speaker and online.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Boris Johnson has been meeting the DUP at Downing Street to discuss Brexit. He insists an agreement with the EU is still possible before the October 31st deadline. A bill to block a no-deal Brexit has now become law. Labour's Hilary Benn was behind the legislation.
The bill very specifically allows the Prime Minister the time and the space to seek to negotiate a deal and to go to the European Council summit on the 17th and 18th of October, and the obligation on him to seek a further extension in order to prevent a no-deal Brexit only applies if he fails to get a deal.
Donald Trump has told his national security advisor his services are no longer needed. The US president says he disagreed strongly with many of John Bolton's suggestions. Police say a bomb found in Londonderry was an attempt by dissident Republicans to murder officers. The new IRA has been blamed. Domestic abuse charities say giving Geoffrey Boycott a knighthood sends out the wrong message. The former cricketer has been recognised by Theresa May. Mr Boycott, who's dismissed the criticism, was convicted of beating his girlfriend in France in 1998. He has always denied the allegation. Official figures show wages continue to grow strongly. Employment also remains at a record high. A review by Public Health England has found a quarter of adults have been prescribed drugs that could be highly addictive. Sherry Flatt has been on strong painkillers for more than 20 years following a car crash.
Every time I went, they just increased the dose. It didn't do anything for my pain, it just dulled it like the rest of them, but mentally affected me. I was so sluggish. I'd miss things, Christmas, birthdays, summer. I couldn't think straight, I couldn't remember, I couldn't really talk. My anxiety levels were through the roof.
Well, the NHS says it's investing in ways to tackle the problem. And there are calls for all watches to be banned from exam halls to prevent cheating. Smartwatches are already forbidden, but a review has found it's becoming difficult to tell the difference between high-tech and traditional devices.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live on digital, BBC Sounds, smart speaker and online.
So big problems on the M27 westbound in Hampshire tonight. That's from Junction 5 for Southampton Airport to Junction 4 for the M3 turn-off. The road completely closed. It's expected to remain closed overnight. That's for emergency resurfacing work there. Also tonight in Bristol on the M5 northbound at Junction 19. That's for Portishead. There's been a crash there. Traffic is stationary. Nick Hatfield, 5 Live Travel.
Harley Vorstuck is back in town.
Don't worry, mate. This'll be painless. You won't feel a thing. No, please, no.
And this time...
Don't be a baby, it won't hurt, it'll be quick.
He's showing his friend how to go paperless with his TV licence.
See, I told you it'd be quick. Oh, yeah.
Managing your TV licence needn't be a drama. Go paperless at tvlicensing.co.uk/paperless.
This is 5 Live Sport with Kelly Cates.
And we're at St Mary's this evening for England's Euro 2020 qualifier against Kosovo. They're 5-1 up at half-time. We'll be back with the guys for second half commentary very shortly. But Australia may have already retained the Ashes. England's cricketers, though, are looking to draw the series with victory in the fifth and final test at the Oval. You can listen to ball-by-ball test match special commentary from Thursday on 5 Live Sports Extra. England's record wicket-taker James Anderson has missed most of the series with a calf injury. He won't be involved this week. And earlier today, he spoke to 5 Live Sports' Ellie Oldroyd.
Well, first of all, Jimmy, how are you?
I'm good. Been a frustrating few weeks for me with the calf, but yeah, I'm sort of rested and ready to start rehabbing again and looking forward to try and get fit for the winter. You
tweeted the other day during penultimate day of the last test match, really missing playing right now. How painful has that been mentally?
Yeah, it's hard not being able to sort of you build up to a huge series like the Ashes. The summer I had with Lancashire, I played a lot of cricket at the start of the summer and felt like I was bowling as well as I ever have. And to then not be able to play a part and trying to, you feel like you can have an influence on a series and then to not have that opportunity is really hard to take. But that's part of sport. You've got to deal with these sorts of things. And, I've been lucky in my career with injuries. I've not had a huge amount of injuries. So, it's inevitable eventually as a fast bowler you're going to get injuries. So it's just a case of trying to deal with that frustration, but then also I've still got a huge hunger and desire to play cricket. I love playing the game. I feel in great condition other than the calf, so it's just a case of looking to the next challenge and hopefully trying to get on a winter tour. So what are the realistic prospects for you? There's New Zealand coming up before Christmas, then South Africa and then Sri Lanka. What are you aiming at? I'm not specifically aiming at anything. I want to really concentrate on getting fit and then further down the line we'll see where we're at. Like if I'm fit for the New Zealand tour, then great. If not, then I'll focus on the next tour, and that's pretty much where my head's at the minute. You know, I'm going to try and look into everything possible to get my body in good shape. Look at how other sports people have coped with getting older and staying at the top of their sport. So that's exactly what I want to do. I think I've still got a lot to offer this England team, and I still love playing the game. So as long as I've got that hunger to keep playing, then I'm just going to try everything I possibly can to do that.
Could you imagine another Ashes series? 2 years' time, you'll be what? I'm not going to say how. And 39.
Yeah, well, I don't see why not. Like, I don't feel 37. I'm feeling as good a shape as I ever have, and it's just a case of trying to look after my body so I don't get too many of these injuries and niggles. So who knows what the future holds. I'm just going to keep plugging away until I feel like there's a time when I'm either not good enough to play at this level, or my body packs in completely. But at the minute, I'm still hungry to play international cricket.
That was James Anderson talking to Eleanor Oldroyd. You can listen to a preview ahead of the 5th Ashes Test on 5 Live Sport tomorrow night from 7 o'clock. And there will be ball-by-ball commentary on 5 Live Sports Extra from Thursday. And you can watch highlights during the match on the BBC Sport website and app. In other sports headlines, Hull KR captain Joel Tompkins has been banned for 2 games for punching, and he'll miss their crucial Friday game. They could be relegated from Super League if they lose at Salford. In golf, Stacey Lewis is out of the US Solheim Cup team following a back injury. She'll be replaced by rookie Ali McDonald. The event gets underway on Friday at Gleneagles. Meanwhile, here at St Mary's, England 5-1 up at half-time against Kosovo, and Raheem Sterling is drawing all the plaudits. He got England's first goal of the game after they went behind very early on. He got the equaliser, also contributed with 3 assists in this match. Matthew says Sterling is just sensational. Hugh asks, how good has Sterling been tonight? Putting aside the quality of opposition, he's had a world-class performance this half, unstoppable. Robbie said, I know people will say it's just Kosovo, but Sterling and Sancho together is a dangerous pair. Kate said Sterling with 3 assists and a goal, wow. Andrew says this is a world-class front 3 if fitness permits. Sterling, Kane, Sancho should be the first choice attack for England every day of the week. Skillful, pacey, potent. Chris Waddle is listening along to the comments. Chris, we know that Marcus Rashford, or we thought that Marcus Rashford might be preferred in Gareth Southgate's mind to Jadon Sancho. Has he given him something to think about tonight?
Most definitely. I think Sancho showed the form, what he's got, what he does for Dortmund. He's shown it tonight. He's got confidence, and that's what he needs. When you're a player wants to run with the ball and take people on, you've got to have belief and confidence, and he's had that tonight, as has Raheem Sterling. So yeah, Rashford now will be looking, thinking I might not have my place, but you know the way Gareth sometimes changes the team, he looks at opposition and whatever. I wouldn't say Rashford's done, but at the minute you'd put Sancho ahead of him.
The England team are out on the pitch here for the second half of this game. Kosovo still in the dressing room, yet to make their way out to join England at the moment. And the other performance that we have to talk about is that of Raheem Sterling. I know we talked about him a little bit at the end of the first half, but even the criticism that he had as recently as the World Cup in Russia, is there anybody left now who can't see what a player he is?
No, there'll always be critics in it. If he scored 3, they'll say he should have scored 4, and if he makes 3, he should have made 4. So, but at the minute, he's such a key player to the way England play, and you know what he's doing well is he knows how to find the space on the wings. You know, I was a bit critical of him over the last few years, thinking he keeps drifting inside all the time, and he's in a space where you think, I don't think he's a number 10. I think where he's playing, whether it's left or right, that is his position. He's a wide man coming inside 30 yards to 20 yards off it. But when the ball develops, what one about before the game about midfield players getting in the box, he does it ever so well. And you watch now, when Harry Kane's looking for whatever, he's round the goalie. He's in that 6-yard box thinking, I might score. And that's what he's added to his game. But his positional sense now, he starts to find more space, especially when he comes wider. And you've got to look at the fullback tonight. He just doesn't know what to do with him. Does he get tight? Does he drop off him? He ain't got a clue.
The second half then, coming to you live on 5 Live Sport. John Murray commentating alongside Chris Waddle. But first, the dulcet tones and the delicious scent of Ian Dennis.
The delicious scent?
Is that new aftershave?
Is that Wales Stallion again?
Well, I'd just like to verify that I'm not wearing paisley purple pyjamas, but I do have a statistic that Stato himself, Angus Loughran, will be very proud of, because should Jadon Sancho score again, he would become the youngest player to score a hat-trick for England, beating Theo Walcott, who, would you believe, achieved that on the very same day, the 10th of September 2008. So there, let's see if he is able to do it for a slice of history, as England haven't yet made any changes, but Sancho might well get the a place in history, but I would imagine that the headline writers are all going to focus on Raheem Sterling, because he's been involved in 13 goals now in his last 8 appearances for England, 9 goals and 5 assists. It has been the Sterling show tonight. Sterling and Sancho, as England, who, let's not forget, in Podgorica were trailing by a goal to Montenegro and ran out 5-1 winners on that particular night. Well, already they've achieved that scoreline here at St Mary's. So we are back underway, and the England side is Pickford in goal, a back four of Alexander-Arnold, Keane and Maguire, Chilwell at left back, Henderson, Rice and Barkley, the midfield three, and then the front three, Sterling, Kane and Sancho, and they've all got in on the act. And Bernard Chalond, the Swiss coach, despite being shown a yellow card, we thought he might have been sent off on the stroke of half-time, but indeed he has reappeared. But I would imagine that he's on a final warning, because he was extremely animated and vocal. There's also been a change, hasn't there, Chris, for Kosovo at the start of that second half, as Barkley plays the ball back to Michael Keane. I was too busy revelling in that statistic for Jadon Sancho. Was it the 10?
Yeah, they pushed the full-back into the right side. They took the right winger off and they put the full-back, who was playing right back, onto the right midfield. As I say, they had to double up on Sterling, but Sterling now has started to drift into the middle. Harry Kane's came out of the wing, and
so Melissa is the player who's gone off. I'll tell you in a minute who's come on to replace him, as Kane gets the ball back from Sancho, threads it through. Alexander-Arnold is in there in the penalty area off his weaker foot. He warms the palms of Muric in goal. He hooks it on the volley straight at the keeper, and it was parried and patted down. And all of a sudden, Kosovo will, with Hada Jonai on this near side, the right, will try and come forward. But is it foolhardy from Kosovo to continue to be so open, because England have so much space and they are revelling in that space as they lead 5-1? Delightfully drilled diagonal ball by Alexander-Arnold to Kane, the captain, on this near side. Sancho unmarked, left corner of the penalty area, and then he'll chip it across to Alexander-Arnold. He controls the ball right side of the penalty area, cleared away, cries of shoot there. Jordan Henderson takes a deflection, headed away, and it was the number 19 who has come on to replace him, Pacharada. So he has replaced Mulisa. That is the one change that Kosovo have made. So Muric in goal, had a Jonai, Romani, Alita, Vojvoda, who had that own goal in the first half, the defence. Midfield there, Vojca, Halimi, Berisha, Pacharada, Selina of Swansea City, and Murici, who plays the ball forward now, and the flag has stayed down, and maybe an opportunity for Kosovo to get a goal back, and they have done exactly that. And Kosovo have, well, in the end, it will maybe no more than a consolation, but Valon Berisha has scored his second of the night, and those 1,900 Kosovo supporters are celebrating once again. It's England 5, Kosovo 2.
Well, it's a poor goal to give away. England have come out. Yes, they've had a lot of the ball from the start of the second half, but they've been dawdling on it. They haven't been playing quick football like they were in the first half. and they paid the price. It was a simple chip to the far post. I've got to give him credit here. It was a good first touch and a lovely finish. Second touch, then third touch, it's in the top corner. But England again started very, very slow.
It was a very composed finish. Just took it on the outside of Jordan Henderson and right-footed curled the ball into the right-hand side. We've witnessed 7 goals so far here at St Mary's. We were expecting an open and attacking game and a bit of a goal fest, and you certainly wouldn't say that it's at the end yet. We're only 4.5 minutes into the second half. England 5, Kosovo 2.
I don't know why they've changed the two where Waden and Raheem Sterling was. I know they've played a full back in front now. They must have thought we're going to double up on Sterling, and maybe that's why they've switched. But I still think there's enough space on his left-hand side for Sterling to do what he was doing first half.
Chilwell and Barkley are the 2 England players who stand over a free kick. BBC Radio 5 Live, 5 minutes into the second half. It is just over 25 yards out from goal. It is left of centre. Chilwell's just having a word into the right ear of Ross Barkley, who's standing immediately next to the ball. Now he walks away. If it's with the right foot of Barkley, there's going to be plenty of whip on it. Instead, he plays it to Henderson, chips the ball into the box, and Muric will come and claim that and take it off the head of Jadon Sancho of Borussia Dortmund, and then Muric will throw the ball out to that far side, and it's Pacharada, the substitute, who is in possession, and then they'll go back, Kosovo, who will play with heart, they will play with spirit. They've certainly transformed this qualifying campaign. When you think that they were bottom of their qualifying group for the World Cup in Russia, where they drew 1 and lost 9 on the spin to finish bottom, and if they were to, the incentive will always be to finish behind England in a bid to reach Euro 2020 finals. Haradjanaj plays it in, offside, flags up. It was Murici who is in an offside position, and England will have a free kick. Chris Waddle.
They've just got up the tempo a little bit. They have changed their system a little bit. They've obviously doubling up on the wingers now, Sancho and Sterling, and they're starting to get a little bit of possession. And England have just come off the pace, and they're letting Kosovo come a little bit too far up the field before they decide to take the ball back off them.
John mentioned the 40 Kosovan fans who've travelled down from Glasgow. They follow Kosovo all over Europe. It was very surreal to hear them talking with their Glaswegian accents this morning, as the ball will run out of play for a goal kick. But they call themselves the Dardanians, and the motto on the back of the T-shirts was "Raised in war, stronger than fear." And one of them was a guy called Louis, and he was telling me that when England go to Pristina in November, their ground will only hold 13,000, but there have been 200,000 applications already for that match. Such is the desire to watch England in Pristina, which I'm sure will be a historic game for Kosovo. And who knows, they might well still have a sniff of qualification from this group. But England are firmly in control of this game and also the group themselves, as Murici, big burly striker. Haradjanaj on this right hand side, low ball in, Maguire stretching, that'll be a penalty. Maguire's brought down Murici, he never dealt with it, and stretching to try and turn the ball behind, he brought down the Fenerbahce forward. And maybe this game isn't just over yet, because all of a sudden Kosovo will have a chance to make it 5-3 from the penalty spot.
I've got to say, I'm not sure it's a penny. It's a good decent ball in. Harry Maguire goes to ground, and when you see the replay, to me, that's the slightest of touches. Listen, everybody would do the same. Everybody would go down. The referee is looking from behind, and it may look where he stood at this, but from what you see on the replay, that was never a pen, but he's give it.
Well, I thought to the natural eye I could see why the referee gave it. So Murici, big burly striker, his hair, dark hair, tied up into a bunch, now against Jordan Pickford. Murici with this penalty for Kosovo. The referee, Felix Weyer, waits for everybody to be outside of the penalty box now. Murici, there is the shrill of the referee's whistle. Murici runs up and beats Jordan Pickford, despite Pickford diving the right way to his left. And Murici has now scored in his last 3 internationals, and it is England 5, Kosovo 3.
What a score, what a score, what a game. All I can say is England, complacency's the word. They haven't shown enough second half. Sterling's come back to left, Sancho's got the right, which they should have started anyway second half. But they've just had a little bit of fiddling around with their system, and their tails are up now. England have got to up the tempo.
The thing is, from an England point of view, is that every goal that England have conceded, Gareth Southgate will say it shouldn't have been scored because it was either sloppy play, as Sterling rolls it in towards Harry Kane. But there are 7 games left for Gareth Southgate, including this one before he names his squad. And you can't be as sloppy as England have been at the back against better opposition in next year's finals.
Oh, not a chance. When we're talking about your Frances and your Holland and teams of Spain, you cannot play like this. It's too open, and I'm surprised he hasn't made a substitution. He needs livening up.
Corner kick then for England on this near side. Chilwell plays it deep inside the penalty area. Maguire goes for the volley, then runs into the ball, and eventually it's cleared away by that Kosovan defence. Jordan Henderson will lay the ball out towards Chilwell on this near side. The Czech Republic, by the way, are leading in Podgorica by 2-0, and that would actually take them to second in the group, a point ahead of Kosovo, providing Kosovo do end up losing this game. And the Republic of Ireland are leading Bulgaria by 1-0. Bulgaria, of course, were England's opponents at Wembley on Saturday. That's just a friendly, though, in Dublin. 5-3 to England. No shortage of talking points. We will bring you all the reaction in the England special of the 5 Live Football Daily, the podcast that we downloaded and available tonight from your usual outlets. And we're on till 10:30, and we'll try and bring you as much as we can with John Murray and Gary Flintoff, our producer, down in the tunnel, whilst we stay on air with Kelly until 10:30 this evening. Vojvoda runs into Sterling. Sterling, though, will take the ball away from him. He tried to bring him down, but Sterling was too quick, he was too strong. And then eventually the referee quite rightly brings a free kick back for England, because they were trying to hack Sterling down.
Yeah, they were. He's too good for them, isn't he? Like tonight, you've got to say, every time he gets the ball, you think something's going to happen. Keep giving him the ball.
Ross Barkley to take the free kick. Bernard Chalond is going to make another change for Kosovo very, very soon. Barkley plays it in low to Harry Kane, backing into his man inside the penalty area, plays it out towards Sancho. Sancho floats over the cross and caught by the goalkeeper Muric, who now will wait. Gareth Southgate patrolling his technical area. England 5, Kosovo 3. 5 Live here at St Mary's. Aliti, Vojvoda, the right back, now alongside to Rahmani. Rahmani actually waits. A lot of Kosovan support, actually. There are pockets in this main stand as well, which the FA were anticipating. Such has been the desire to try and follow their team here at St Mary's. The official allocation 1900. Keane, Alexander-Arnold. Sancho drops inside his own half on that far side. England in all white, playing from right to left. BBC Radio 5 Live. Tomorrow night we'll preview the 5th and final Ashes test at the Oval. That, of course, starts on Thursday. Premier League is back at the weekend. Manchester United-Leicester is our game from 3 o'clock. 5 Live Premier League Sunday. Bournemouth-Everton at 2. Watford against Arsenal at 4:30. As Wojciech is the player who has gone off, and the player to replace him is Rashkai. So this is an attacking change that has been made there by Bernard Chalond. Rashkai, who was one of the 2 changes, one of the players dropping out of the team that came from behind to beat the Czech Republic at the weekend. So Rashkai He plays his football in Sweden. They're scattered all over when you look at this squad. They play in 13 different countries. But they probably are, after England, the most talented in Group A. Barkley plays it short to Declan Rice. Be interesting to hear Gareth Southgate live with John Murray, picking the bones out of 8 goals, and we've only now reached the hour mark. Wonder how many will require at the end of the game. But back with Pickford. What about the performance so far in these opening 15 minutes of the second half?
I just thought it's when you go in 5-1 up, you think, well, it's game over, and you can see the way they started. It was too slow. They had nothing to lose. They've scored themselves a couple of goals. Now they're asking a few questions. They're a spirited bunch, you've got to say, and they're brave. They go for it, and I believe they will finish second in the group.
Yeah. Well, Kosovo are the first team to score 3 goals away to England in a competitive fixture since Croatia in November 2007. We need not reminding of what happened for the Euro 2008 qualifiers. England 5, Kosovo 3. They were true to the word, though, weren't they, that they would be on the front foot. They were aggressive as Barkley runs forward outside the centre circle to Raheem Sterling. Chilwell and Sterling combine with the passes. Back with Chil once again. Declan Rice is available, wants the ball, gets it, turns in the centre circle now. Sancho has run in field, creates a bit of space for Alexander-Arnold. Both Henderson and Sancho had looked to make diagonal runs in the channel on that right-hand side as England played from right to left. England going back, looking to try and establish a little bit more control with the ball as Maguire will carry it midway through the Kosovo half. Chilwell level with the penalty area, back with Maguire, in field, Ross Barkley. Alexander-Arnold had made a good run, not detected, to the right corner of the penalty area, and then it's eventually back with the Liverpool player on that far side, and he finds Jordan Henderson, who's just gone a little bit deeper, and that role is now Maguire to Barkley. Rice just outside the centre circle, and every outfield player is in the Kosovo half, scooped up by Barkley, looking towards Sancho, dealt with by Kosovo. Now they'll come forward, the ball played forward then by Halimi, cut out though by Michael Keane, and Portugal with another goal through Ronaldo are leading in Lithuania by 3-1.
They just can't get the wingers in the game. Give them credit, they've adjusted their team, stopping the service a little bit, but
here is Sancho. Sancho with the cross, brought down by Barkley and cleared by Romani at the back of the Kosovo defence.
At least Barkley was in there. His first touch wasn't the best, but that's what we say. You've got to get extra bodies in there, and that time Ross Barkley, probably for the first 10 of the game, was 7-8 yards from goal. Alright, his touch wasn't the best, but at least he got in there. But and I can't see why he can't put Maddison or somebody on now.
Alexander-Arnold midway through the Kosovo half. We've gone past the hour mark. We're with you through until 10:30 on 5 Live or the BBC Sounds app as well. As Maguire forward, Barkley with the turn, looking to try and hold off Halimi. He runs forward, good play, good strength by Barkley, still going, goes down inside the area, and England have a penalty. And we could yet have another goal here at St Mary's. Anybody got an abacus?
Well, that was what you want to see from Ross Barkley as well. Picks it up, drives, and you think, is he going to get his shot off? He gets a pen eventually, but it's a yellow card. Obviously they're all arguing, but that was much better. That's what you want to see from Ross Barkley. He's got the ability, we know he has, and there you look, good strength, good body strength, gets in the box. It's a little bit harsh, I've got to say, a bit like the Kosovo pen, but he's give it, and I would think this will end up in the back of the net with Harry Kane.
Well, Harry Kane, his penalty, or penalties, but particularly the second one against Bulgaria at the weekend, was absolutely hammered home, and now Harry Kane has an opportunity to move level with Alan Shearer and Brian Robson with 20 goals wearing the captain's armband. He dusts himself down, he adjusts the white shirt. Halimi, by the way, was booked. He'll be suspended for the next game for Kosovo. But Harry Kane from the penalty spot, waits. The referee wants everybody outside that penalty area. Muric on his goal line just shuffles his feet from side to side. Kane is poised. Kane is focused. But the referee isn't happy. He's walking across. First I thought he was going to adjust the ball, but there's a bit of encroachment, and a player on the far side has been shown a yellow card.
As the player's looking at the manager, what can he do?
Pacharada, the substitute, is the player who has been booked. Harry Kane still waits. The flashlights are ready. Harry Kane, saved by Muric. He gets the right way, moved to his right, and he denies the England captain, and the scoreline remains England 5, Kosovo 3, and those cheering are the 1900 Kosovans away towards our right hand side.
Well, I never saw that. I could never see Harry Kane missing ever. He's just a speciality at them, and give the goalie credit, he's done his own work.
We discussed it on Saturday night, and I think, did we say that he'd missed one against Turkey at Manchester City a number of years ago? England, they're on the attack. Sterling looking to turn. He's got options left or right. Sterling still going, but in the end it was dispossessed by Halimi coming back to him, and it runs through towards Muric. Well, so many talking points of an action-packed game.
That was strange there. Sterling just overran it. He could have rolled it to Bartley, he could have rolled it to Kane. He just overran it slightly, and then the goalie comes and takes it off his toes and then gives him a kiss on the head.
Yeah, it was 2016 when he missed that penalty at the Manchester City Stadium 3 years ago. Doesn't miss many. England's lead is still at 2. 5-3 is the advantage. It means that Kosovo will continue to chase and harry. Giving themselves such a shift though tonight, haven't they? It's Haderjonaj looking to close down Chilwell. Chilwell though goes away from Haderjonaj back towards Barkley. England's quality will always shine through, certainly in an attacking sense. Alexander-Arnold now plays it in early, might go towards Sterling, headed away by Aleti, comes back out to Henderson. Henderson will turn. Sancho still waiting for that moment to maybe score his first England hat-trick, and a slice of history as well, as Bulgaria through Evelyn Popov have equalised in Dublin. The Republic of Ireland won, Bulgaria won. Maguire, Keane will turn and go back to Jordan Pickford. Pickford just waits, all in green, away towards our right hand side before playing the ball short towards Michael Keane. Out towards Henderson. Plenty of space as the players are spread all over the pitch, and England trying to utilise that now as Pickford then drills the ball out towards this nigh side to Chilwell. Chilwell was forward, but it runs out of play and it's out for a throw.
They just haven't had that. You know, the first half they had that change of pace, they upped the tempo, they dropped the tempo, but when they picked it up, you know, especially Sterling and Sancho, they were off and they were quick. We've not seen it second half enough. They've been very slow. Yes, it's already keeping possession, but there's more goals to be had. We know these can't defend. They're a brave lot. They go forward, they don't sit back, and there is a lot of gaps. England's just got to up that tempo, and I know they talk a lot on the bench, but I'd like to see Maddison come on.
Well, at the minute there's not much activity down on the England bench, but there is a change in the commentary box now as our correspondent John Murray will take you through to full time.
Thank you, Ian. So 5-3. Harry Kane's had a penalty saved, and we've still got quarter of the match to play. Do you want to have a guess at the final score, Christopher?
5-3.
5-3, right. How very conservative of you. How uncharacteristically. Ball out of play for a throw-in for Kosovo. Vojvoda is going to take this. Gareth Southgate's not made a substitution yet, if you just switched on. So we're still waiting to see who might come on. But Kosovo, who scored 2 goals in the second half without reply. Ball played in towards Murici, now on the edge of the area. It's won back by England. just when it was looking dangerous again. Rice brings it forward. Sterling, for once actually, on the halfway line, passed the ball back into his own half. However, Barkley takes it on. Barkley now to Sancho. Sancho was caught late there, and actually the challenge from Selena, or who was it? Who was the challenge from? Selena was closest to him, and I think it's Aliti, the central defender, who caught Sancho, so he is yellow carded for that. A little bit of concern over Sancho, although he's now quickly up on his feet actually, and he's hopping around, leans forward, puts his hands on his knees. He's going to be okay. And England have got a free kick in a good position, 25 yards right of centre. It's quite a good angle there. I have a go. Attendance just being announced, 30,000, 155 officially, 1,900 of them Kosovo supporters who've actually taken the cue from the crowd attendance figure being announced to put the lights on all of their mobile phones, and in their section there it is a waving sea of tiny lights. Lovely. And now actually the England fans are doing it all the way around the ground as well. Right, free kick. It's going to be either one of the fullbacks to take it, Chilwell or Alexander-Arnold. It is Alexander-Arnold round the wall, but well wide of the goal.
Well wide, keeper knew. You could see the way he just jogs across. It's all on the next goal, isn't it, John? Let's be honest. I don't know if there will be one, but the way the game's panned out, you could see definitely. But if Kosovo to get one, what a game that would be.
It's just turned into one of those crazy nights, hasn't it? And it is nowhere near beyond the bounds of belief that Kosovo could score again. Ball bounces out. Gareth Southgate fields it, gives it to Harajonai, who's now playing on the right-hand side of midfield, having played the first half at left back. He swings the ball out towards the left-hand side. It's laid out there for Pasharada, the left back, who crosses towards the near post. Morishi was after it, was headed away. It's worked back here to Vojvoda, the right back. Square from him to one of the substitutes, Rashkai. Now Selena's going to shoot, but got right underneath that as Rice came across and just drilled it high above the goal into the crowd. So it remains, you've just switched on to us on 5 Live, this most unusual scoreline of England 5, Kosovo 3. It was 5-1 at half-time. Sterling scored 1, Harry Kane scored 1, there was an own goal, 2 from Jadon Sancho, and all that after Valon Berisha had given Kosovo the lead after 34 seconds. And then in the second half, Berisha scored another one, and Morishi scored from the penalty spot. So that is why it is currently 5-3. And Harry Kane having the penalty saved as well since then. And Kane now wins the ball back. Options here for him. Sterling's in. Sterling hits the post. Lifted it past goalkeeper Muric, but struck the post. England coming again. Still in possession. Chilwell with a cross. He's got that all wrong. He's sliced it high and it drifts out of play before it bounced back in on the far side.
Well, the goalkeeper plays the ball in midfield. He should never have played it, and Harry Kane's onto it, and he rolls it square to Sterling, and you'd think goal. The way he's been playing, his confidence is high, and Harry Kane, I thought himself was going to shoot. He gets right and just outside the box, and it's a slight deflection off the goalkeeper, which takes it onto the post.
Well, it's a good save actually, with his legs, spread himself, and the ball is at the feet of Muric, the goalkeeper. Well, that is something we've not had so far tonight, isn't it? Someone's actually now hit the post. Coming forward with Morishi, playing into the right-hand side. There's space here for Harajonai. He's got Vojvoda outside him. He goes for the early cross. Morishi just lays it back towards the edge of the box. Kosovo searching for a fourth goal, but Selena loses possession on the edge of the area, and it's played forward quickly for England for Sancho. Sancho bursting downfield. Kane makes a run. Sancho plays it across to Sterling near the penalty spot. Curls it goalwards. Deflected. Bounced just past the foot of the post and behind for a corner to England.
What a game this is, by the way, isn't it? It's both coaches after will say you can't defend like this and you can't do this. This is a throwback, isn't it? It's just see how many we can score and see how many we can score.
However, there are certainties in football. Cristiano Ronaldo scored a hat-trick and Portugal lead Lithuania 4-1 in that qualifier. 5-3 here Chilwell with the corner from the left-hand side. Sancho came short, but Chilwell delayed the taking of the corner. Now Chilwell's delivery towards the back post is a stretch header away by Ramani, the captain, taken down the right-hand side, cross towards the near post, glancing header into the side netting on the outside of the goal.
Keane
by Michael Keane.
John Henderson does ever so well, whips the ball in near post. Keane kind of directed onto the goal, it's the side net.
15 minutes to go, 5-3. And Muric, the goalkeeper, under pressure from Sancho, is able to find a teammate in this bluey grey kit, this dark kit with the yellow numbers that Kosovo are wearing here, this special kit for their first game against England. And what a game it's been. We'll remember this one for a long, long time.
Can't wait for the return game.
I know, Pristina, the last game in the group, as Ian said, that'll be a very special occasion as well in their little ground, with all of the recent history attached to that as well. It'll be a fascinating trip for the England supporters who go there. Halimi playing the ball over the top down the right-hand side, looking for Hadajonai, and then the covering challenge was there from Chilwell to slide in, and he actually prevented it from going out for a corner, so a throw-in to be taken by right-back Vojvoda. Comes back to him in the orangey-pinky boots. Then Hadajonai of Huddersfield Town puts his foot on the ball up against Chilwell. There's it infield, a touch by Selina. Vojvoda's ball to the edge of the area. That is cleared away by Henderson. But Kosovo back in possession. They certainly haven't given this up, no question about it, even though they still need 2 more goals without reply to draw level. Here's Hadajonai again near the right corner of the box. Hadajonai pulls it across straight into the path of Rice, who's able to control and play it out near the halfway line.
It's the first team I've seen in this group what's actually asked England a few questions. You know, normally every team, pattern defence, damage limitation. Yes, they've conceded 5, they've scored 3, and they believe they can score another few, so fair play to them.
Yeah. And if they don't finish in second place, or indeed win the group, Kosovo, then they would be guaranteed a place in the playoffs in November. And looking at this, they're a team you would not want to play in the playoffs, whoever you are.
They're very hungry, they're very, they're really confident as well.
Czech Republic currently going second in the group. They're winning 2-0 away against Montenegro. Still Grimsby Town 0, Macclesfield Town 0, by the way, in tonight's Carabao Cup tie. Republic of Ireland 1-1 with Bulgaria. In the friendly, Alan Brown scored for the Republic of Ireland. 5-3 to England here. BBC Radio 5 live from St Mary's on this dry, clear night. And Kosovo with some intention. They're having a good spell here again. The team that's ranked 120th in the world. Although that's really a bit of a nonsense. Hadajonai looking for Vojvoda. They're combining well on the right-hand side in this second half after Bernard Chalon's tactical switch. Hadajonai's cross, headed away on the edge of the area. Comes out to Halimi. Halimi now looking for the ball down the left-hand side to Pasharada. Pasharada's cross into the penalty area, cleared away by Rice on the edge of the box. Sterling's in space here, and with Kosovo pushing forward, there will be space for England when they break away, and that is the case here. Although Sterling's waiting for support, it comes from Barkley. Challenge on Barkley from Rashkai. Barkley manages to withstand that and keep possession, and Barkley, and pace actually, has dropped to walking.
There's a few tired legs out there, I tell you. It's been end-to-end all night.
And actually in the last 20 minutes, as we are now, indeed in the last 15 minutes, there's been no sign of Kosovo's energy dipping. Rice near the centre spot. Across it comes here to the left-hand side to Chilwell. And then Sancho going back to Chilwell again. And England forced back by the pressing of Kosovo back into their own half. Ronaldo's now being credited with all 4 goals for Portugal in that match. It's still Lithuania 1, Portugal 4. So England have scored 5. Ronaldo scored 4 on his own. Barkley, then back towards the halfway line it goes, and Keane and Maguire. Harry Maguire, after this, he'll be up against his old mate Jamie Vardy on Saturday at Old Trafford. That's our commentary match, 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon. That should be well worth listening to. Manchester United, Leicester.
He'll not be standing the halfway line on Saturday.
Barkley's pass forward, cleared away, back to Chilwell. Barkley again. Barkley, still Gareth Southgate yet to make a change. does look as though England could do with a little bit of freshening up, with Kosovo having this good spell. A number of players, 1, 2, 3 of them warming up down to our right-hand side. Mount, Callum Wilson and Rashford. So no sign of James Maddison down there. And I suspect if Maddison doesn't get under the field, that's going to be quite a big talking point among his supporters.
Yeah. Oh, most definitely. And listen, John, at the end of the day, it's about results, and England's winning. So
absolutely,
and they keep winning every game. So he's always got that to say, why do I need to drop players when we're winning?
Republic of Ireland now 2-1 up on Bulgaria. Kevin Long with the second goal. 5-3 England. Yep, 5-3 if you just switched on in your car. Murishi, the big centre forward. Back to Rashkai. Now the ball to the left-hand side. Pasharada with a cross. Pasharada right-footed, headed away near the corner of the 6-yard box from Keane, who moved across and headed it out of play. That's who the madness began with. Michael Keane with that pass when he gave away the ball to Murishi, who set off Valon Berisha to open the scoring in the very first minute, almost in the first 30 seconds. Now the ball's won back by Henderson. Harry Kane in the centre circle. Strong challenge on him by Rashkai, but the ball bounces for England. Henderson's pass, that's a good one. Diagonally over the top to the left-hand side. Sancho into the box now. Sancho lays it back to Barkley. Barkley rolls it across and it's cut out. He was looking for Sterling, and Aliti threw himself into the path of the ball and cleared it.
He's got to be greedy, Ross Barkley, for me. He's in the box, he's got half a yard. Have a strike. If this deflects, it could fly in the top corner. And there again, you saw the Kosovo player lying down, trying to get the game to stop, and there's nothing wrong with him. So keep playing.
Into the last 10 minutes, 5-3 to England. Murishi turns and then plays it to the left-hand side. Murishi makes himself available. It's being brought back in from the left-hand side by Selina of Swansea City, the Manchester City youngster. Had that spell at Ipswich as well. Oh, and it's been very nearly lost by
Mason
Ramani.
Mount's going to come on.
So Mount to come on as he did for the last 10 minutes or so at Wembley on Saturday. Oh, that's badly given away in centre field by Valon Berisha. And now England coming forward 4-on-3, but Barkley dwelt on the ball, didn't use any of the 3 options that he had, and Aliti was able to put in the challenge to take it away from England. However, they take up possession again near the halfway line. Chilwell puts his foot on the ball. Mount is being prepared by Gareth Southgate's coaching staff. Steve Holland down there, and actually Rashford's going to come on as well. It's going to be a double change for England. But
that'll probably be Sancho, and you've got to say it will be Ross Barkley.
England playing it up towards Sterling, but it bounces off him, and Kosovo are back in possession on the far side. Can't get over the halfway line. Sterling puts in a challenge. Crowd over there are claiming that Sterling's being pulled back, which he was, by Valon Berisha, who now swipes at the ball, kicks it off the field, and referee Zvaya is going to pull out the yellow card for Valon Berisha, 2-goal Berisha, kicking the ball off the field. Republic of Ireland now leading 3-1 against Bulgaria in the friendly. James Collins, the latest scorer. And so it is Mason Mount coming on for Ross Barkley. Mason Mount winning his second cap here after making his debut at the weekend. And Mason Mount, who, remember, was born in Portsmouth, trots onto the field to play for England here in Southampton. I'm sure he'll have family and friends from this area here watching him.
Definitely. And it looks like he's ahead of Maddison in the pecking order, doesn't he?
It does. The Kosovo supporters urging their team on for a final effort in these remaining 7 minutes or so, plus added time. And Mason Mount, wearing number 18, has taken up the Barkley position. He was a little further on, Chris, if you remember, when he came on Saturday against Bulgaria. Mount gets his first touch of the ball, finds Chilwell, and it goes all the way back to Pickford in the England goal. So England, having been 5-1 up at half-time, have failed to add to their total in the second half. And here the ball's passed straight off the field by Declan Rice. So it's a throw into Kosovo on the far side of the field. And England will take that as the cue to make their second change. And yes, it is Jadon Sancho making way for Marcus Rashford. So there we are. What a night for Jadon Sancho. He will remember that for the rest of his life, the 19-year-old, after, on the occasion of his 8th cap, scoring his first goals for England, 2 of them. What a night. And he gets slap of the hands all round as Marcus Rashford
He'll probably
replaces
feel a little bit disappointed that he hasn't stayed on, because you may think, you know what, I may get one more chance. It would be great to get a hat-trick.
And we're going to see Valon Berisha substituted. He's just received a yellow card. Scored 2 goals here, Berisha, including the opener after 34 seconds. And this is the final change for Kosovo, and it's going to be Florent Hassani, another promising young player who's on to win his first cap for Kosovo. So a proud moment for him at the age of 22. Plays in the top flight in Hungary, does Florent Hassani. 5-3 the score. And Vojvoda tried to be a little bit too cute on the halfway line.
Terrible, that.
Mount was caught off the ball, but he's been able to find the pass to Rashford. Rashford into the area, shoots, saved by Muric, and Sterling puts it over the bar. But he was offside, and if he had found the net, the goal wouldn't have counted.
You think he knew he was offside?
Do you think so?
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. But
Rashkai's been booked for that foul on.
Rightly so as well. That was. I mean, he's saying sorry to him now. Look, Mount's having to go back at him, saying there's no need for it. He's right.
So it remains 5-3. Rashford was in there. It was a good opening actually for Marcus Rashford onto the field. Got himself into a brilliant position centrally, 15 yards out, but drove it straight at Muric, who was able to make the parry. It was strongly hit though. Decent save. England leading by 5-3. And Muric being given the ball. Harry Kane's not far away, passes it out to Halimi, who then plays it up to Murisha. Now on the left-hand side, the ball is played forward to Selina. Selina now up to the edge of the penalty area. Change of feet from him. Right-footed shot. Curls just wide. Pickford diving to his left. So close to 5-4.
He's had a hit and miss game tonight. He has got talent though. You can't say he hasn't. Technically wise, he's a very, very good player. That was a great run. Tremendous pace when he runs away from Keane. And he just looks at him, couple of step overs inside, bends it with a... Oh, how close was that? And there's no way Pickford was going to get it. That must have been inches wide of the post.
Memories of that goal that he scored in the FA Cup against Manchester City last season for Swansea. 5-3. Happy and glorious. It's been a happy and glorious game of football to watch, certainly for a neutral. I'm not sure how the 2 managers will react to it after the end of the game, but England in the goals again. 5-5, 4 and 5 in their 4 qualifiers in this group. But Kosovo coming forward, putting pressure on England again, but it breaks down on the edge of the box. The final touch of the debutant Florent Hassani, and it's behind for a goal kick. And we've got 2.5 minutes of the 90 to play, plus added time.
Well, it's been an excellent game of football for the neutral, hasn't it? As I say, it'll be interesting what the 2 coaches... I think the coach... I think he'll have a little bit of a moan, the Kosovo coach, about the referee and about certain decisions. But listen, his teams give a good account of themselves. They're a good side, technically, got some very good players. But unfortunately for them, they came up against Sancho, and especially Raheem Sterling tonight, who they couldn't live with first half.
It's quite a difficult one to analyse, isn't it? Because there are so many good things and so many things that were pretty moderate, like that ball from Jordan Henderson after Sterling set him up on the edge of the area, overhit the cross, and it just drifted away harmlessly beyond everyone in the middle and behind for a goal kick.
It'll be interesting, John, when you probably go and interview Gareth after, and you'll say this, that and the other to him, but it'll be interesting why he doesn't give Maddison a little run out. You know, Jordan Henderson, he's put a shift in, he's tired, 15 minutes to go. Why can't you? With Jordan Henderson on the team, you've got to say Kosovo have still created a lot of chances. So it's not like saying, well, I need him there for a defensive job. It's not about that.
He can still make one change.
It's not worth it now,
but we're now in the 89th minute. an error by Kosovo. Ball out for a throw-in, which is taken by Chilwell, and then it's sliced away by Aliti on the edge of the box, out of play for a throw-in to England, halfway inside Kosovan territory. Chilwell in the 90th minute now. Ben Chilwell. Rice will make himself available. Mount is there as well. The two mates, the two childhood mates in this part of the world when they were growing up in the Portsmouth area. Rice and Mason Mount. And then Chilwell forces an error, and it's another corner for England here on the left-hand side.
Well, he's not going to be in a rush to take this, is it? They might as well just run the clock down now. It's win, as you say, win in the last minute, and just keep the ball.
Chilwell to take this. We'll see in a moment how many minutes are to be added on. But Chilwell standing with his left arm raised, waiting to take this. He does so short. There's no way the two defenders were 10 yards from the ball there, but Sterling's done well. He's been able to find Chilwell, still in the right back area.
It's going to be 5
minutes, okay. Mount plays it across, and there's the board. 5 minutes it is of added time. Back into the centre circle. Alexander-Arnold to Chilwell, who gets his legs taken away from him by Hassani, and it's a free kick to England here on the left flank. That Chilwell climbs to his feet, puts his hands on his knees. And England not committing too many downfield. They don't want any late drama, or any more late drama, as it's hooked out by Hadejonai for another throw. Chilwell still feeling that knock, and the referee is urging Chilwell to get on with it. Actually ran across here and urged him to take the throw. Republic of Ireland have won 3-1 against Bulgaria in the friendly in Dublin, and Portugal now 5-1 up on Lithuania. William Carvalho scored the
no Ronaldo
for Portugal. No, he hasn't got all
he's
5.
Struggling, isn't he?
He is a little. 4 goals for him tonight. Kelly Cates is presenting 5 Live Sport from here in St Mary's tonight. We'll be on air till 10:30. And do stay with us. We'll bring you as many interviews as we can get from down in the Tunnel area in the latter part of the programme before Sarah Brett at 10:30, and they'll be on the 5 Live Football Daily podcast in the morning as well. Kosovo with the ball inside their own half, and Kosovo playing the ball towards Aliti, and the central defenders long ball to the edge of the area. That's headed away for England by Chilwell, and now Mason Mount is able to take up possession and cross the halfway line and then cut back against Vojvoda. Rashford makes himself available. Mount couldn't find the pass to Marcus Rashford, and Halimi runs away from Mount, and now Pasharada, who's done well actually after coming on at left back for Kosovo down the left hand side, and he gets some assistance over there on that flank from Murishi, and then back it goes towards the halfway line. Czech Republic now 3-0 up in Podgorica against Montenegro, and if these scorelines stay the same, Czech Republic will go back into second place in the group ahead of Kosovo. England will have 4 wins out of 4 at the halfway point in their qualifiers. We're into the 3rd minute of added time. Well, you went for a brave call when we still had quarter of the match left to play, and suggested it would finish 5-3 as it was then, and 5-3 it is. There's no substitute for experience, Chris, is there?
It's not finished yet.
It's not finished yet. Here's Chilwell, receives it from Mount. Chilwell, there is space for England on the left flank. Rashford, the fresh legs of Rashford, just rolls the ball in to Harry Kane, so his penalty saved in the second half. That would have been 6-3, a famous old England international scoreline from long ago. At 5-3 it remains, and Mount going back to the halfway line, and England just taking the sting out of it actually, even though the supporters here on this side of the field, certainly the Kosovo fans, are urging more goals.
John, just run the clock down, you're winning the game, that's the main thing.
And actually Michael Keane turns and gives it all the way back to Jordan Pickford. Still England with the ball in their left back area. Chipped forward by Chilwell, out of play. It bounces, and it looks as though England are not going to make that final change. We're in the 4th minute of added time. It's deflected out of play, throw in. Chilwell gets the ball handed back to him by Hadejonai. Throw-in's taken, then headed out of play on the halfway line. Well, they've won a lot of friends tonight, Kosovo, with their performance here this evening and the way they've gone about it. but it looks as though England are going to see this out for the victory. Chilwell takes the throw, Rashford, and then it comes off the head of Vojvoda. Another throw down the left flank for England. Chilwell knocks the ball up to himself, takes the throw down the line. Rashford wriggles away from Vojvoda, and now Romani comes across. Rashford cuts back on the dead ball line. Rashford is manhandled over, and it's a free kick to England. They're like a short corner, this 5 yards away from the flag.
Is it worth? Look, the two centre-halves don't want to go up. Nobody wants to go up. You may as well just keep it in the corner flag. Play it short. Game over. Take the points.
So Chilwell wanders forward. Rashford walks away. Sterling comes across. I think that's exactly what they're going to do. Referee Svaya says we're in the 5th minute now. He is going to pace out the 10 yards. There's actually only Harry Kane in the penalty area for England for this free kick 5 yards away from the Kosovan corner flag on their right hand side. Chilwell does tap it short to Sterling. 5 minutes of added time are up. England seconds away from the final whistle and another victory in the group. And there it is. Well, it's been a crazy game. What a game. We'll not forget this visit to Southampton for a long time. After Kosovo took the lead in the first minute of the match, and from that point on, the goals and the thrills and spills and drama and excitement just kept on coming, and it's ended up with a 5-3 victory for England in their first international against Kosovo, the youngest footballing country in Europe. And they've won a lot of friends with the way that they've approached this evening, but England have won a lot of games and scored a lot of goals in this group. And at the halfway point of England's Euro 2020 qualifying campaign, it's 4 wins out of 4, and in those 4 matches they have scored a grand total of 19 goals and remain top of the group. Chris Waddle.
Well, it's been a very, very enjoyable game. I give Kosovo a lot of credit. They did go for England. They said they were going to have a go, and they did. And they scared England on occasions, and England know they've been in a tough game tonight. A lot of respect because of the way they played. England, yes, there was some sloppy mistakes. Is the balance of the midfield right? I don't think it is, but when you've got Raheem Sterling and Sancho in form like that, you're always got a chance of winning football matches.
Yes, I suspect the Kosovo supporters who are staying in the same place as us, Chris, when we see them later tonight, they might well be talking about the way that they beat England in the second half. But England with goals from Sterling, Kane, an own goal, 2 from Sancho. Kane had a penalty saved as well. They're the scorers for England, and the final result here, England 5, Kosovo 3.